So UFC 289 was indeed trash. Just kidding. It was decent for real. It was probably like on a scale, it was probably about average. Just to talk about it real quick, Amanda Nunes did quite easily handle business. Aldana ain't want to fight for real. She was really starstruck. She ain't do much. And after the fight, Nunes went ahead and put the gloves down forever. Hopefully. Great career, one of the greatest fighters of all time, regardless of gender. That don't even deserve to be brought into the conversation for real. And with her retirement, that should indeed mean the immediate evisceration of the featherweight division, which never really was a division for real, to be honest, but you know. And with her retirement, we can finally stop hearing about that fraudulent double champ status. Jesus, that used to piss me off. Anyways, the Canadians on the cards put on for the home team. They went 6-0 in their fights. Mike Malot's good. I like him. And shout out to Steven Erceg, putting on a good show in the early prelims in his UFC debut that he took on like a week notice or something like that. He pretty good too, I ain't gonna lie. Definitely somebody to be looking forward to in the future. But let's go ahead and talk about what need to be discussed. Charles Oliveira returned and absolutely decimated Beneil Dariush quickly in the first round, and it quite honestly was a sight to behold. But at the same time, I do feel for Dariush. He's put together a really good streak in the last few years, looked good in his performances, and honestly took a bet on himself in taking this fight in the first place, and it did not pay off at all. And as a result of what happened in this fight, it has started some discourse that Dariush was never really that good to begin with, which is warranted a little bit. It's just kind of mean, I ain't gonna lie. But to be fair, his best win in the past few years is against Gamrot. And that's in no way, shape, or form to down Gamrot, because he's good in his own right. But if you compare it to somebody like Oliveira, he's fought and beaten almost the entirety of the top of the 155 division. So it's like there are indeed levels to the game. Charles Oliveira continues to improve in his game. Showed a little bit of head movement in this fight, which you don't usually see from him. And he also seems to be continuously getting more powerful in his striking. And that really started with the Gaethje fight, where he absolutely blasted him off his feet with one shot. Something we don't frequently see happen to Gaethje. And even he himself told the world that Oliveira is probably the hardest puncher he's ever fought. And that was after he even fought Michael Chandler. But for some reason, I still mainly attributed that to like precision. You know, playing into the whole idea that precision trumps power. But here with this one, it's undeniable. Charles Oliveira might be the heaviest hitter in the division, I ain't gonna lie. He absolutely blasted Dariush with a couple high kicks. Granted, Dariush did try and block them joints with one arm, which never turns out well, and it certainly didn't for him. But even still, the way he was visibly moved back from the impact of those shots was quite alarming. And then the two right hands that sealed the deal to just put him down, Charles Oliveira really coming with some heat, I can't lie. And on the ground, Oliveira always seemed to at least be one step ahead of Dariush, never letting him even get comfortable and settle into a position. And honestly, Charles was the one landing the more significant strikes from the bottom. Within the first minute or two of the fight, Dariush was already put in a position where he couldn't be comfortable anywhere that the fight took place. And he seemed to gas out relatively quickly in the fight as well, which didn't help his cause at all. With this win, especially with how dominant it was, it firmly reasserts Charles Oliveira back at the top of the division. And now we got to discuss what needs to be talked about. I'm officially banging the table for the rematch between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. Let's make it happen. Now, I understand that Islam mushed Oliveira in their first matchup just a few months ago, for real. But I don't care. I don't think nobody in the division beating Islam as it is. But when we look at skill sets and abilities, I think Oliveira does have the best chance to do so. So let's make it happen. Now, the only way that Charles even stands a chance to beat Islam is if he changes up his approach in the fight. He can't come out fighting like the Tasmanian devil and expect to beat him. It's just not going to work like that. And to be fair, he's not going to do it. And he self-admittedly said that he's not going to do it. So he's doomed. He's probably going to lose again. But it's just like, who else going to fight Islam? Personally, I don't too much care to see Poirier or Gaethje fight him. I think both of them did worse than Charles did. Even though Gaethje does stand a better chance, in my opinion, than Poirier. And then it's like there's nothing to lose by making the rematch. It's an absolutely massive fight that's going to sell. And if Islam wins, it's like, okay, he was supposed to. He's one of the best pound for pound, whatever. But if Charles manages to win, now one of your biggest stars has reclaimed his throne. It's a win-win situation for real. Even though I can't stand, I just can't bear to watch Charles Oliveira lose again. It's gonna hurt. I ain't gonna lie, but it's gonna have to be done.